Welcome to Your Wise Self with Sarah, the podcast that invites you to embark on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. Thank you for joining me, Sarah, as I explore the profound wisdom within each of us, waiting to be uncovered and embraced. After a year of podcasting, I'd like to introduce myself to you again. I'm Sarah. I'm a divorced mom of two incredible young men who I genuinely enjoy and am deeply proud of. My journey has been one of continuous healing and reinvention, shedding layers, embracing who I am, and learning to trust myself. I've lived with anxiety for over 35 years and started my first diet shakes at the young age of 11. I've gained and lost physical and emotional weight more times than I can count. Through it all, my heart kept calling me towards something bigger. After 15 years of learning, growing, doing the deep inner work, and formal education, I'm finally here. I'm on a mission to help other women break free from anxiety, achieve lasting weight loss in all the ways, physical, mental, emotional, and reconnect with their strength so they can thrive in mind, body, and spirit. It means so much to have you all here. I'm incredibly grateful to walk this path alongside each of you. By that introduction, you can tell that this is an opportunity for me to vulnerably share a little bit more about my personal healing journey that led me to my health coaching business and to this podcast. As I mentioned, early in life, I was a heavier child. I had weight challenges and was what we would call today being bullied by other kids. I was relentlessly teased, called names, and I definitely went into my shell at a pretty young age, and I ended up being a really big bookworm. I read a lot of books, would stay up for hours and hours reading. Finally, after going through puberty, I did come out of my shell a little bit more and became more social, but that was after I had lost weight. Along those early years, also middle school time frame, I had early signs of anxiety. Even back then, I was trying to find peace in my body and my mind. Fast forward to my adulthood and motherhood, I wanted nothing more in my life than to be a mom. It was so grounding and beautiful and transformational for me. I absolutely loved being pregnant. I really enjoyed becoming a mom. And after my second child was born, anxiety hit an all-time high for me. I had sleepless nights where literally I would stare at the ceiling all night long. I talked myself out of these anxiety attacks many times over the years. And I was finally at a point where I felt I needed more help. And I did go on medication for, I believe it was less than a year. I do believe that's a step towards healing, that it was something that I knew I needed at the time. It was not a weakness. And so I think that medication definitely serves a time and a purpose and is not something to feel bad about, that people need to reach for that help every now and then when they can no longer manage it on their own. Sometimes healing just begins when we allow ourselves that external support. In the meantime, I had the good fortune of meeting a life coach who introduced me to meditation. This practice really, truly brought me back home to myself. I was able to go off the medication 15 years later of faithful practice. I definitely know what the signs of anxiety are in my body, and I can feel it rising up. But I know as long as I stay consistent with my meditation, my sleep, and nourishing my body in the best possible way, I can steer clear of most anxiety these days. Along the way, then, I also learned about clean eating. I had the good fortune of meeting a friend who was someone who was in the bikini competition world. And I said, I don't want to necessarily do that. I just want to learn how to eat. It was really a good opportunity for me to learn more about how to nourish my body in the best possible way. And then also listen to my body and honor what it was saying when I was eating these more nutritious foods and taking care of myself. Then enter the next phase of my journey, which was learning human design and soul contract. These tools really helped me understand myself instead of fix myself. There was nothing wrong with me. There was nothing shameful. It was just who I was. And I definitely needed to learn how to tweak some things. I'm a manifestor energy type. So we have a tendency to bulldoze through things. And I had to learn tools that would help me be better in relationship with others, whether it was personal or professional. And what it allowed me to do was really help me learn to trust myself, release shame, and start to embody my purpose. So I knew I was meant to help others walk this path in mind, body, and spirit. Then the next layer became yoga and yoga therapy. Yoga and yoga therapy came into my life at the most pivotal time for me. It was very powerful. I spent many hours on my mat, feeling in my body, letting emotions run through me, sitting with emotions, being able to cry on my mat because it would release something from me. And then I went into yoga therapy school and had the amazing experience of being surrounded by 27 other women who were all going through something. And it just so happens that during that time, I ended up going through my divorce. And so having not only the yoga therapy practice, but also having that group of women got me through some of my most difficult, darkest days. And I'm so eternally grateful. So I got done with yoga therapy school in the middle of the pandemic, a vulnerable share for me that I don't really love to talk about, but I feel it's very important for me to talk about publicly and as part of being a health coach, because as I coach other women, I want them to also feel empowered and not ashamed. During the pandemic, I woke up one morning and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what my next move was. And all I wanted to do was go back to bed. And this was very unusual for me. I don't consider myself a person who's ever suffered any type of depression. I've always been a go, go, go person. I was working with a therapist at the time, and I said to her, this is so strange. I don't know what to do because I feel like I don't have an attention span and all I want to do is go back to bed. So I said, either I have depression or I have ADHD, but I don't know which one it is. So she said, let's just test you. And come to find out, I have ADHD. I was diagnosed at age 42. I believe that it uncovered so many things in my life that truly made sense from an academic standpoint. I was never a good test taker, never really engaged in school until college, actually, when I could pick what I wanted to go into and what really interested me. And then I was all in. I excelled in college and in my master's degrees, both of them. The pieces of the puzzle started to become clear as to the struggles I did have through my life, and then also the anxiety. It all made sense because I had conditioned myself, going back to that morning when I woke up and was not knowing where to go or what to do, but over years and years of conditioning myself to have a very strict calendar and have everything planned out for my day. And so what happened when the pandemic entered is that was gone. I didn't have a next move. I didn't know what to do next because things were different with work. We were all at home. We were all isolated. And all of a sudden, my calendar didn't have anything on it. And I didn't know what to do with myself. That truly changed me forever. Going back to my story about the pandemic and going through yoga therapy school, finding out I have ADHD, getting divorced, and then I got done with yoga therapy school and I was like, what am I going to do now? I really wanted to continue to take yoga therapy with me, but yoga therapy was not something that was widely accepted in central rural Iowa quite yet. So I started looking at different areas that I could study, social work, that type of thing, and landed on this program at University of Minnesota in health coaching. And I knew this was my calling. I knew that this was the exact fit of what I have been wanting to do from the time I have learned about all these tools, from clean eating to human design and yoga too. And every time I learned something, I just wanted to share it with the world and empower other women to be able to lift them up. And so here I am as a health coach, and I don't want to be just a typical coach. I want this to be a deep and spiritual and embodied transformation for women to help them feel lighter emotionally, physically, mentally, and remember who they are, what their strengths are, and lose the weight, lose the expectations of what is going on around us and really tune into who they are. I was listening to a podcast recently, and there was a quote or a stat about we make about 35,000 micro decisions a day. It might be some bigger, some smaller. So no wonder we're exhausted. I have this 5-day challenge coming up the week of April 21st. And my mission is to help women break free from anxiety, to help them release that physical, emotional, mental weight, to discover their strength and thrive in their mind, body, and spirit. I believe that women at my age, I'm in my late 40s, we wake up one day and realize that we've spent years caring for others, but not for ourselves. I do also acknowledge that everyone's journey is different, and that's why I will meet you right where you are at. We'll work together to find that inner wisdom that perhaps you buried years ago, and it's time to put the focus back on you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my heart in this safe space. Please feel free to anytime direct message or email me if anything resonated with you or if there's a topic that you feel I should be addressing. And I always want to remind everyone that you are not alone. You are not broken. If this episode resonated with you, chances are you know another woman who needs to hear it too. Maybe it's a friend, a sister, or a coworker who's been feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or disconnected from herself. Please send her this episode and let her know that she's not alone. And encourage her and yourself to sign up for my free 5-day challenge. It's called Thrive for 5, where we'll work together to reduce anxiety, boost energy, and release that physical and emotional weight. You can sign up at thrivewithcoachsarah.com, and registration does close on April 18th. Let's walk this journey together, mind, body, and spirit.